10, number 10, number 10.
Thank you for electing. I hope I live up to your expectations. The public are very sceptical about what to believe in and what not to believe in. I will be open and honest, and I don't mind answering any questions. You get what you see and what you hear. I'd like to be very clear with you, but I think I'm confused as you are. I don't want the job, thanks. I think our model of politics is old, and I don't want to be part of that. Hierarchies and concentration of power in the hands of a few is something we need to move away from. I rather like what Douglas Adams said. Anybody who wants to be in charge should not be allowed to be. This is a terrifying proposition. I don't know, I don't feel I have any idea how to fix the world. It's broken. I need more time to think about this. One looks for peace everywhere, that's what one hopes for, but how do you achieve it? I don't know that it will ever be achieved. It's very difficult for people to live in peace with each other. It's time to stand together and be together and learn how to live together and understand each other. The past is past. It's only the future we have control over. So, let's look at what we can do today, each one of us, to build a better future. Everything is wrong. It's so wrong. Capitalism benefits the few. Ever since the crash, it's been a bit more transparent, and, well, that's hopeful. We know what they're doing. I've felt more disempowered than I've ever felt. But in my head, I'm hopeful. We have forgotten the very basic values of human beings, and we need to remember that we live only one time. And to spend this one life killing each other, wanting more money than another, thinking just about ourselves in this one planet that we are destroying every single day. Democracy's a farce. It's been completely compromised. There is no democracy. It's not fit for purpose, and it doesn't represent anyone apart from the elite. I'm going to sack the whole lot, the whole of the Commons, and start a People's Council. I reject and renounce the party machinery, vested establishment interests, donations from big business, and promises of cushy directorships and lucrative speaking engagements after my retirement just to secure my election. With a view to perpetrating this plutocracy dressed up as democracy. Things are going to change around here. It's going to be tough on the rich and the powerful. But it's also going to be just as tough on your average Jane and Joe. You're going to have to stop consuming so much junk sport, junk TV, junk food. Roll up your sleeves and take some real responsibility for making the world around you better. There's no excuses now. The United Kingdom will not be allowed to become involved in any wars whatsoever during my term. I will ban men from power. Gradually. We just remove more and more men from power and actually maybe have more children running things. Every action has its consequences. And most of the problems in our world stem from our inability of mankind to stay quietly at home. We share this world together. So, let us be more considerate towards others. There's no more immigrants coming in this country for now. Personally, even though I've worked all of my adult life, I don't like the way people on benefits are ostracized. They're just easy targets, like asylum seekers. The same thing. We have to help homeless people. Give them a standing in life where they'll be able to claim benefits without having to have an address to have to do so. Everybody, no matter who they are, has the right to food and shelter, and if they don't have those things, then the government should provide for them. With me as your leader, I will make a greener, fairer Britain. A self-reliant Britain. One that produces the majority of its own food. That invests in renewable energy. We're going to turn this country around into something that is a beacon for clean energy for the rest of the globe. I want to achieve what was hoped for in 1945, so that there is decent housing, decent education, decent health provision, without reference to wealth or to status. The NHS is not going to be privatised. We are going to keep our public health system. That is the first thing I will do, is to save the NHS, safeguard the future of the NHS. The NHS is a basic right. We are here for the people. If you're not there for the people, then it's completely misguided and corrupt. Life can be beautiful. We need a revolution that opens our eyes. Stop being afraid of each other. A revolution of trust, and then maybe we can find a new system. Maybe it will take a long time. The way the electoral system works is not really about fairness and choice. People's votes matter. It's important to get out and vote, because all votes matter. And you can see that when people don't vote, then you get a bunch of lunatics that win the election. I want to bring in proportional representation in all future elections, local and general. Things are going to change somewhat. That requires people to take part in their democracy. A much more inclusive, egalitarian society. We need to educate people to take part in that economy and that democracy. Other systems are worse than ours, however weak and effective and unfair our system is. I was one of the few people who voted for a proportional representation. It seems to me that if people feel underrepresented, as they clearly do, then some form of proportional representation is the only way they will get a voice. That may mean that you won't get a smack of firm government, but you may get a more decent society as a result. I think democracy is a great idea. I don't think we've achieved it. What's the most popular newspaper in this country? It's The Sun. I don't want people who read that and who watch Strictly Come Dancing and Bake Off deciding how things are run. Benign dictatorship. A lot of people would want to vote for Stephen Fry or someone like him. We don't currently live in a democracy. It's based on capitalist values and wealth generation. It's about gradual change. A complete upturn in society will cause a lot of chaos. The first steps start with a better understanding of social need and what the general populace want. I think a lot more referendum will be quite important as the process goes on. I think the people should have a lot more say. People elect a Prime Minister, and that Prime Minister is answerable not to his own interests, but to the people that elected him. I don't think we'll ever get a revolution. At the minute, the fat cats are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer, and that's the way it's going to be forever. The people need to rise up. You say revolution, but it shouldn't sound like a naughty word, revolution. It's about people. It's your right as people. We pay taxes. We fund the country. We are the government. Especially in the long term, the way the financial system is running is completely unsustainable. If we don't have a revolution, younger people are going to be the ones who are going to suffer. So, I would say that younger people are going to pick up that baton because, well, they have no choice. The Arab Spring is clearly turning to blood and dust as we speak. Revolutions, by their nature, are difficult to handle. That sense that everything is going to change, it really did seem as if something was going to happen in 1968. Don't think it ever got as far as Hove. Do we need a revolution? I don't think we do. What are we revolting against? We need a revolution in people's hearts. We need to learn to care for each other. That's the revolution that needs to happen. I think we need a revolution in the way that we take care of our own people in this country. The elderly, mental health services. Charity begins at home. I think we need a fluffy revolution, not a big one. I think we need a revolt within. You know, I don't think words matter very much. It's about how we approach each other and the ethics on which we work together. There's lots of thoughts and philosophy. Individual communities can work within a larger town, and those regions can then work within a country, and how those countries can then work together in a global world. I don't know whether I'll ever see it. But I think eventually it's inevitable. It could be tomorrow, it could be 200 years. But it always happens eventually. My first act as Prime Minister is to put a cover on all the street lamps so we have no more nightlight pollution and you can all see the stars. Everybody, please. Can you take a deep breath? Say sorry to each other.
Sorry to each other.
And let's start again. Where we go from there, I don't know. Thank you.
10. Number 10.
It shouldn't be led, it shouldn't be biased by
be nice to each other. Be nice
or like social status, and it shouldn't be led
to share what we have. Be prepared to